Welcome back, everybody.
Howdy.
Hi.
Got to
I'm
turn
glad
that.
we did the
Got to turn that
countdown.
setting off. You did a thumbs up, or a thumbs down, or something to text you a thumbs down.
Me?
Mm-hmm. Watch, hang on, leave it there for a second. It'll pop it. It just did a minute ago on your end. I guess it's
You have
not.
to turn it a little more sideways.
Well, I think the light and the flower in the background is really what's
Man.
throwing it off. Yeah, leave it right there for a second. See?
Oh, I saw that. I didn't know that was you though.
If you do double, it'll do fireworks.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. You get closer together and don't move them around. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't turn the thing off. Sorry. I'll
No,
try to.
it takes a while to detect it. I'm just saying. I'll show you how to do it. So I did get a couple emails tonight, or not tonight, past week. And we took a break with people's work schedule, so it's been a little bit since we all hooked up. So it is basically navigating jealousy in relationships. Let's see what we've got here. Do. Where's it at? There it is. Okay. She's 29 and he is 37. She goes, my now ex, who I was with for 9 months, had shown a lot of signs of unnecessary jealousy problems. The first time I noticed was where we were at my friend's daughter's water slide birthday party. I was taking a selfie with a big water slide in the background. She was in a bikini top. After I took the picture, his whole demeanor changed and he flipped me off. I was so confused. I asked, what is wrong? He said it was disrespectful to take a selfie in a bikini top. I thought that was a little crazy, but I let it slide. But the major story was when we went to a local bar. We sat down at a table with someone he knew. He had maybe 5 beers so far. These two girls walk in and sat at the table with us. They knew his friend. They were very nice, very talkative. Everything was fine. About 45 minutes later, and he's now had maybe 8 beers by this time. By then, boyfriend turned to me and said, I'm assuming that she has BF, that boyfriend, or I'm going to assume boyfriend, to me and said, that girl is gay. And I said, okay, question mark. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. And when we all keep talking, just having a good time. Not once is this girl flirting with me or has made any disrespectful comments. Nothing. 10 minutes goes by and goes, babe, that girl's gay. And I said, it's okay. Babe, what's the problem? He just shook his head. I got up to go use the bathroom and I came back. The girl was crying. Her friend told me that my then boyfriend told her to shut the fuck up. Caused the whole scene at the bar. Was saying it was disrespectful to her to talk to me because I'm his girlfriend. I was shocked. Everyone in the bar was looking at us. It was absolutely embarrassing. So yeah, by then, boyfriend got jealous over another woman who he assumed was gay, was talking to me, and as a group, what's your thoughts? Why do I feel like I missed a chunk of this? And I'm trying to see, because this thing is like becoming a big blur to me right now for some reason. From the white background, I should have worn my glasses, I guess, tonight on this one. No, I think that's pretty much it.
Honestly,
So-
that's why all of my apps are set to dark mode.
Yeah, I'm going to have to change that to dark mode. Good point.
So he's an ex. So obviously she saw the light or all
Mhm.
the red flags and decided to move on, thankfully, because he doesn't sound like a very stable individual at all.
No, I do agree. It just kind of the point that really got me is when he said he got mad because she took a picture in a bikini top. I know in this new era or the new red pill, blue pill crap, it seems to be an issue with certain guys. And I honestly feel that I think you're going to have an issue with it. You're insecure about it. I don't see a problem with the picture at all. And I'm trying to figure out what the bar scene, what's created that was the jealousy part. I'm assuming from
Well,
someone
yeah,
hitting on your woman.
Yeah,
He-
that's the insecurity.
yeah.
Yeah,
He
but
feels that even though she is attracted to him, clearly, right? That what other reason would they be in a relationship? That a woman can still take her from him.
As far as the selfie thing goes, so when you when I was listening to it at first, I thought, okay, well, she's 29 and he's 37. So there's the age difference. And I know like 20 somethings and younger, like they take selfies all the time, with no intention of ever posting it or sending it to somebody. They just take selfies. So I think like if I take a selfie, it's for a specific reason. I take a selfie to send to him, to send to Mike, or, to post somewhere, if I don't post a lot of selfies, but, if I were to take a selfie, it would be for a specific reason. Whereas I think a lot of younger people take selfies and just to take them. Yeah, I agree that him flipping her off is, while she was doing it, that's unhinged.
Excuse me.
Like, who does that? Who does that? Maybe she was just trying to document the birthday party and like the water slide. I don't know. That's insane.
I mean,
Right. I do believe that selfies have become a lot more popular as a way to like commemorate something,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the age of social media, right? You don't necessarily want to share it with the world, but you want to be able to keep it and look back on it. It's easy to post it on your Facebook or Instagram or whatever. That way you have the account to look back on.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
I just wonder, would he have gotten upset with her for posting or for taking any selfie? He sounds like the type of guy that would have. Or was it just the fact that she was in a bikini that upset him?
A bikini top at that with water. I mean, what most women
Yeah,
when you
she's
go when you
Right.
go to a water park, chances are a lot of women are going to wear bikini tops, just like when you go to the beach, they wear bathing suits, right? Just like they're going to wear. Some huge insecurity, some insecure issues right there. Very insecure.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's not like that she went out of her way to put on a bikini top, right? They weren't like sitting on the couch and she was like, "Oh, hang on, babe, I need to go take a picture." Went to the room, grabbed a bikini top, walked to the bathroom and took a picture. It was in the moment where it's appropriate to be wearing such attire.
Yeah. Yep. And with the bar thing, that's if that was what looks like is the reasoning for the breakup, I really feel she had every right to do so. He is the asshole in this matter, for sure.
Well, yeah, because if you can't even be in a group of people and having a good time and with having to worry about your significant other teeing off on somebody or assuming that somebody is hitting on you when you could just be being polite, just being polite and having normal conversation can be perceived as flirting by insecure people.
Absolutely.
So,
Mhm. Yep.
been there, done that.
Lord. So I do have another one here. Let's see. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Here we go. It's a dating question. When should it be brought up in dating if you are chronically sick or you have faced some sort of trauma that could put stress on the relationship? The reason why I'm asking this, I'm almost a 33 female. I have a condition called POTS, or postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. If I butchered that, I'm no doctor. Sorry. And OI, also known as orthostatic intolerance. In a nutshell, POTS is where your heart rate increases upon going from a laying to standing position, while OI is where your blood pressure drops upon going from a laying to standing. Okay. Both affect me very different as POTS. Can cause my heart rate to shoot up well above 160, and OI can cause me to pass out. I have always had issues on trying to figure out when is the best time to bring this up in dating. Also, how should I tell them? I honestly feel just tell them. I mean, it's something you can't control. It's something that you have. You're going to have, it seems like maybe for the rest of your life. So, I mean, they're better say it now than never.
Right. I absolutely agree, but to an extent, I would say it depends on severity, right? Like the POTS specifically isn't something that is going to affect you 24/7, right? It's you go from this position to that position. You have what we, I guess you could consider it an attack, or I can't think of the other word, but y'all understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
And it lasts a brief moment.
right. So you should be upfront about it and say, hey, I have this medical issue. When I stand up, may need a moment or two to get my bearings back. If we're ever in a rush, that I'm not purposely delaying because of this. Um, but I don't think it's something that needs to be like the focal point.
I think if you have something serious, like say you have epilepsy or um I don't know, you have a pacemaker or something that might impact a first date, right? So, if you're on a first date with somebody and they start having a seizure out of the blue and you don't know that they have epilepsy or you don't know, I mean, you're going to be completely caught off guard, right? So, that might be something to bring up at the beginning, something that could impact that date. As far as like, hey, just so you know, if my chest starts beeping, it's my battery or something like that. That needs to be talked about on the first date. Like, yeah, just like Henry just said, I agree. Now, other things like, I don't know, can't even think, I'm I can't even think of anything at the moment. But like, okay, I had a full hysterectomy and so, I have hormonal imbalances and stuff. That's not a first date conversation to have, really. Or I get
Right.
migraines, I suffer from migraines. That's also probably not a first date kind of conversation. Or your past trauma like was referenced in the email. Also, probably not a first date conversation. That's a if you're gonna have a few dates in, or that it's going somewhere. Anything serious that can happen or affect the other person but just by them being there, they need to be prepared for. Yes, at the beginning.
All right. So I would kind of agree with that. Like I said, I would go off of severity. For instance, if I was to, go on a date and explain, hey, I've had 4 open heart surgeries, I've had 4 strokes, I've had seizures in the past. Um, my right hand is almost pointless. The motor function and um, sensation is almost completely gone. Is that something that you would consider first date basis, or is that something that you could learn about over time? Because it is very severe, right? But it's not affecting me 24/7. Like I said, it's not something that I have to like worry about as I'm doing my day to day.
I
I
would go ahead.
I would say something in that situation. I would, but I think everybody's different when it comes to that. I mean, if she's trying to get to know you, I mean, the conversations you guys already been talking.
But it's
Majority of
not my personality. It's not a characteristic of me. It's just something that I've been through.
But
right.
if you're talking and you're getting to know each other, like, what do you do for a living? Tell me about your family. What do what was your childhood like? Something like that, like 4 open heart surgeries and a few strokes might come up in that getting to know you portion of talking. something like that might come up in that. And it might, I mean, and not it's not shitty to say that some people just would probably run away from that because they're like, I can't deal with all of that.
Well, and that's why I say why bring it up so early on, um, because it's not a medical emergency like the comment is, like Ann just said. It's not something that could lead to a medical emergency. Obviously, I mean, anything could lead to a medical emergency. You had a concussion in the past, you're likely to have a seizure at some point in your life.
Mm-hmm.
But just because you've had a concussion doesn't mean you're going to have a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
So just because, again, I've had 4 open heart surgeries and I've had 4 strokes in the past, which again, this was all by the time I was 4 years old. I'm in my 30s now. It's again not something that's going to cause immediate emergency response.
Right.
I do believe that it should be brought up, obviously. But I don't think it's something that I need to bring up right away, because a lot of people will see it as a deal breaker and they're like, oh, I can't handle that. But in reality, they've never took the chance to get to know me and realize that it's not something for them to handle. It's what I deal with every day. And I don't need them to worry about me.
I mean, I don't think it's something that needs to go in your profile on your dating bio, like on your dating profile, like your bio, like stroke survivor, open heart surgery survivor, which some people do that or whatever. They put all their stuff out there right there on the bio so everybody's aware. But um and some people just aren't, and maybe they could be up for the challenge of somebody with medical issues, but they're scared of it and they don't want to, and that'll never work if it's somebody who just doesn't want to deal with that kind of stuff and somebody who has a lot of medical issues. Not saying you specifically, just anybody in
Right.
general.
No, right.
And so, yeah, they should have the option of knowing about all of that before they get too deep into it, I would think.
But a lot of people look at it as a commitment that is not necessary. Right. Like, so if I was just to, come out and say, hey, I've had 4 strokes, I'd go see a cardiologist every 6 months. They're gonna be like, oh, there's something wrong here. I don't know if I can handle this. Instead of getting to know me and realizing that, yes, I do go see a doctor every 6 months, I still lead a completely normal life.
Well, I would think that you would lead with that when that conversation came up.
But people
And
don't see that. I'm telling you from personal experience, people don't see that. As soon as you say I have a medical issue, that's all they think about.
Well, don't label it as a medical issue. Just say them what happened. Hey, when I was
It-
younger, I had XYZ happen, and this is what the outcome of that was. I wouldn't say, hey, I have a medical problem. Tell them
but
what.
it is.
I'm using the word
It is a
medical.
medical issue. It's considered congenital heart disease. It's a
Right.
disease.
I know, but what I'm saying is try to reword it so they don't run hearing that I have a medical issue.
But how do you do
Because
that?
if that, tell them, hey, when I was a child, like for your example, when I was younger, I had XYZ happen to me, and this is what's going on. Because obviously they're running after you say I have a medical issue. They don't want nothing to do with you. So why don't you not use that terminology and just kind of fit it to where you are just saying, hey, this is what's going on. I had this happen to me. So, but I really don't see an issue or a reasoning to say I have a medical issue that use them words exactly.
But that's what it's classified as. I'm just saying, like,
Right.
I don't personally say I have a medical issue. Like, it doesn't limit me in the way everyone assumes that it does. Like I said, the strokes are the worst of it in my case, or in the way I look at it, because I don't have the motor function in my right hand. I don't have the sensation. Like, I can't feel that. There's nothing there. My fingertips are dead, right? But I can still like pick stuff up. I can still grab stuff. It's just I can be unaware if I'm holding something, which I've done multiple times. By the way, it's actually really funny. Um, working on cars, when I put like a spark plug in my right hand to grab the wrench with my left, and I start going, "Where's that spark plug at?" It's because I can't feel it in my right hand. And I even laugh at it. Like it is something that amuses me as well, but other people see it as an issue that they have to worry about when they don't.
I would, I mean, I go back to it just depends on what the medical issue is or what the any issue is, where medical or trauma issue or whatever. Like my daughter is allergic to
Hmm.
so many things. So many things. And so if she were on a first date with somebody, I would think that might be a first date conversation as far as like as she's looking over the menu, casually bring it up that she's allergic to X, Y, and Z, and there's an EpiPen in her purse in
Right.
case something comes out that, just because she's so severely allergic to so many different things, you
Right.
know. Now, a peanut out, like, oh, I'm allergic to peanuts. Yeah, you can bring that up. But I mean, I just really think it depends on the severity. But I do go back to in the talking stage leading up to a date, because I'm assuming, unless it's a blind date, I'm assuming there's some kind of a text conversation or something going on.
Right.
Um, that might come up.
Can I ask you guys a question? Advice for women that have men that have these type of insecurities in the first story.
Run.
Yeah.
Run. Because
Run.
it's never, you're not going to change it. They have to change themselves. You can't change them. You can't fix that part of whatever is inside of them that is broken that causes them to behave that way.
That and it's a projection. It's not that you did anything. There's nothing there for them to actually be mad about. It's something that they are trying to project onto you.
Yeah, because chances are they're the ones that are doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
my ex-husband was very, very insecure.
Run.
Turns out he was a cheater, but he was so insecure that because the guy at the gas station that was closest to our home, back when I was a smoker, and I would stop there every day to get my, or every other day to get cigarettes. He learned after like a year of me stopping in there every morning that what kind of cigarettes I smoked. Well, he happened to come in there with me one day and saw that the guy had already pulled him out of the shelf and had him on the counter for me. I was not allowed to go back to that store because that guy was flirting with me. Flirting
Yeah,
with me.
that's a bit ridiculous. That's just hospitality.
Right? That's good customer service.
Yeah, I was gonna say customer service. Yeah.
But a man who is insecure to that degree, which like in the email, that's somebody who can't be in a healthy relationship until they figure that part out. They cannot be in a healthy relationship, or you're going to spend your entire life trying to not upset this insecurity, and it is miserable.
And I'm sure you're going to be driving yourself bonkers every day too. It's
Mm-hmm.
tiresome. Drive yourself nuts. You're never going to be really happy.
So you don't think there are some things that women do that make men create those insecurities? I mean, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are some things that women. I mean, is she flirting back? Because that can cause him to be insecure.
Right.
Is she taking these bikini selfies and posting them on her Instagram every day, or lots just to get those likes? Does she have lots of guys liking her pictures and stuff? Yes, those things can definitely cause a man's insecurities, the insecurities he might already have, to go from here to here. So if you're not aware of where your man's insecurity level is, because everybody, man or woman, everybody is insecure about something, right? We all have insecurities. We have to learn our partner enough to know where that is, where that level is. That's a manageable level that, we can maintain our healthy relationship without pushing their insecurities up here. So,
Well, I do believe that there are some people, man and woman, that learn about their significant others' insecurities and then exploit them. That does happen. I'm not saying it's what happened in this case or that
Mhm.
it is even the common thing to happen, but it does happen where like a guy will say, for instance, he doesn't like when his significant other goes out and drinks every night, and then they go, "Oh, I'm gonna do it anyways," and then they go out and drink more and more and stay out later and later and later, and they exploit that insecurity because they know it kind of like it's not fair for their partner to ask that of them, but instead of trying to explain that to them, they just push it.
And that's a lack of respect. That's no respect for your relationship and no
Right.
respect for your partner. And communicating that this makes you feel uncomfortable, that this is something you're struggling with. And I mean, and if somebody's going to exploit your insecurities to that level, you need to rethink that whole relationship
Oh, I absolutely agree.
because that's just so disrespectful. Yeah, but I know people probably do that. I'm not one of those people that do that, but I know people probably do because people are shitty. People are shit. So,
Yeah, I can do agree with that one.
yeah. So,
But
you
yeah,
just have to I don't know, Henry, does that answer your question? I don't know.
I also think we could take that back to the medical topic as well, there too, because people can exploit, something you're unable to change. Like, for instance, allergies, right? You're allergic to shellfish. If someone goes, "Oh, I'd like to go to Red Lobster," it's the same thing.
Mhm.
It's not something that you get to decide upon. Like, you can't just go, "Oh, well, I guess I'm not allergic to shellfish anymore."
Right. It all goes back down to respect. Respect for your relationship, respect for your partner, and the boundaries that you set up, the insecurities that you may have, and learning those about your partner, and and just have some decency.
nice to know Mel and I think alike.
Who is this? I don't know who that is.
Somebody in the comments on the
Oh,
look at there. For everybody listening on the YouTube, I do appreciate it. I did forget to mention in the beginning. If you like what you see or hear, preferably hear, um, please feel free to subscribe and like the video. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification to get notified for future videos. There's a lot of men do those types of things in the story because they don't know how to express their feelings.
so would you think that flipping her off while she's taking a selfie is a acceptable way to express your feelings, or maybe we should grow up a little bit and use our adult words and have a conversation? I mean, I agree. Not just men don't know how to express their feelings, women don't know how to express their feelings either.
Right.
But, if you're an adult and this man is 37 years old and he hasn't figured it out by now, that maybe flipping off your woman in a public place in front of everyone might not be the best thing to do.
It's
It's
bad
not a great
judgment
way to
call.
do it.
No, somebody's going to see it, I'm sure, unless there was nobody there. But I'm sure somebody's seen it. And to me, you're showing who you are as a person. You're showing your character right there. Like you're a jackass.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to get upset about it and talk to her about it later and explain to her. That'd be the adult thing to do. If you have an issue with it and it made you feel a certain type of way, pull her aside or wait till later, have the conversation. Flipping her off at the party, and then essentially you have now ruined the rest of whatever event you were just at.
Mhm.
You've ruined it. You've ruined it for her. You've ruined it for yourself. You've ruined it for anybody who was around and happened to witness this, obviously, what would have been a very uncomfortable scene.
And well, as long as they realized what was happening, but I do agree.
It's just at the age of 37, you got to figure it out. That's childish behavior.
Because depending on how long they were dating, unless this is, out of the norm, The people are going to think that it's just their love language to be rude to each other.
That is true too. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, she was pretty upset about it. So I don't think that was part of their love language.
No. I agree with that. What I'm saying is people onlooking that have seen them go through this before and they're still together may believe that that is their love language to kind of like put each other down and whatnot. I'm not saying it's healthy or the right assumption to make, but it is.
I mean, Mike
possibility.
and I flip each other off, and sometimes when we're goofing around and joking around, and he's, teasing me or something, or something like that. But I would assume that everybody who was around us would get that, would know that, because that's not something that we do.
Right.
In public, those discussions should always be done behind closed doors. Yep.
I definitely agree with that, Henry. It's not, you're not helping any of the situation at all if you're going to do it in front of everybody like that.
And also for all who's watching, if you have any stories, relationship stories, not really so much advice, you want to give your side of the story and we can critique it, and like kind of what we're doing right now, feel free to do so.
I think it's twofold. Like, flip off isn't acceptable, but if she is taking a selfie and immediately posting it to IG, etc., and it's lewd, I would say that she has zero respect for the guy. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, if it's something, if that is a boundary that they have established in their relationship, because some couples, some men are perfectly okay with their women posting bikini selfies on Instagram, or I don't know. So it just depends on what is their acceptable boundary that they have set. Like, I wouldn't, just because it's not me, not because I think that he would be like livid about it. He might be, I don't know. We don't have to have that conversation because it's not me to do. I mean, I'm 40 something years old. I'm not in my 20s. So it's
40 something. You don't want to give your real age out? Is that
44 years old? I'm 44
kidding.
Years old.
I was just kidding. I'm
44.
40 something.
I'm on the fence about that because, I mean, would I want my significant other posting a bunch of pictures for everyone to see? No, obviously not. That is not something that I'm into. But as long as they're doing it for themselves, like I said, to have that account to look back on, and they're not, doing it for the clout. They're not entertaining all the comments and shit
for the attention.
Right. If they're not doing it for the attention, not entertaining all the comments, I really don't care. Again, it's not something that I would ever say, hey, why don't you post that picture? But at the same time, I'm not gonna be like, hey, you shouldn't post that. But if they're posting it and they're entertaining all these dudes going, oh, you're so beautiful, you're hot, we should hook up, we should link, and they're like, oh yeah, maybe, but I got a boyfriend.
I'm or like, they're just
ignore it. They're
just hearting the comment.
Yeah. Just ignore it. You don't have to. You don't have to entertain it.
No. So yeah, I would say it doesn't sound like boundaries were a thing with this couple, though. I'm just saying it doesn't really sound like they had boundaries.
Well, I think about wraps this show up for tonight. Again, for anybody who wants to email some stories, it is in the bottom of the screen, the MB Show Unfiltered at Gmail. Please feel free to, again, subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon to get notified for future videos. Till next time, I'll see y'all later.
Later, everyone.